Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Board of Commissioners meeting on August 18th. We will start off with Jim Denniston.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We've had a few printers causing us problems, and this quote is from Sharp that you all have and previously sent an email. So that is to replace the one for planning, the one for probation, and also the ISET's office and the clerk's office. And that totals $19,302, and that will get these three on the contract with Sharp, and then we will take the old three off as well.
So these are leases or
These are purchase. This would be a purchase, yeah. So initially, back in 2015, we did a all new printers and they were leased. Since that time, you guys have been purchasing instead of releasing. And if you want to, Annette and I are working on budgets. We have a line item in there for next year, and we can always talk about leasing versus purchasing if you'd rather go that route.
go off your advice?
Yeah, yeah, we can just see what the budget comes up, and we can get numbers from Sharp on both, and yeah, just see which way is the best. So, but for now, I know Mandy's had a lot of problems with her. She was down about a week and a half, and they just can't get parts for it. Corey had a similar situation, and same thing with Thaddeus up in clerk's office. So that's it.
Yeah.
Have an additional.
Yeah.
So we just
Yeah.
okay him to go to the council.
We'll have to advertise at the end of the month. So.
Okay.
Okay.
I move to allow Jim Denniston to go before council to ask for $19,302 for replacement on printers, various departments.
I'll second.
Okay, been a motion and a second to move forward for replacing 3 printers for $19,302. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Next we have Corey.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I have a couple of things for you today. So the first one being, we have another building that we are taking down, or it's a house in the town of Miami, and it's an asbestos remediation contract that I need signed. It is to remediate. We get a 10% prepay discount, totaling the bill would be $1,516.50. So. We've already selected a demo contractor, and so this is just the next step in the process.
They still have enough to cover the asbestos in the fund.
For the Grissom in.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's already taken care of. Yeah. And then county council's looking at the appropriation tomorrow night for the demolition of that one.
Entertain a motion.
Have an additional on this? No, you just
No, it's
approving the money.
It's just signing the contract.
Oh, okay.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Okay, been a motion and a second to sign the contract for asbestos removal. All in favor, say aye.
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 The next thing on the that I have to talk to you about as we are moving into budget season is the time that Plan Commission looks at our fee schedule for the year going forward. And so it did go through at Plan Commission last week, but wanted to send this on to you before sending it on to the county council. So we did make some changes for 2026. As we look at our residential fees here, we did add a separate line item for carports because we thought that our carports, when those were coming in, we were charging too much for those. given the few inspections that they have. So we did put a line item in of $75 with electric or $125 permit with electric for carports. The same thing with lean-tos, they would follow that same schedule there. We were charging a lot for those. And then prefab sheds, so like the sheds that I don't know you would find out on any of the street corners there. Those are pretty much already built. They're just looking to make sure they're tied down and electric's good to go if they're putting those in there. As you flip through that, then we didn't change anything in commercial or agriculture, nothing in solar or wind. As we did get down into our miscellaneous fees, we did increase our appeal of an administrative decision from $50 to $185. Those run very much like a variance, which takes a lot of time, everything like that. So we did increase that. And then we did put in the petition for a rezone of $185. And then a brand new fee was a petition for a vacation of a plat or a public way of $185. You'll have one of those coming here in a couple weeks, so that'll be a fee that we've not had before. And then lastly, our administrative fees, we did adjust our zoning compliance letter. It was just too difficult. We had those based on hours before, and it was too difficult to try to figure that out. So we set up rezoning compliance letter fee of $25 per parcel. And then a zoning verification letter is $100 per parcel. And then we did take out one of our research fees there that we didn't use. So those were the basic updates. It looks like a lot, but we're just adjusting as we go. So I don't know if you want to take this under advisement or if you want to just go ahead and send it to council. It's up to you guys.
You already had it approved through the board, the zoning board. I move we send it to council.
Second.
Been a motion and a second to send the revised fee schedule to council. All in favor, say aye.
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 Perfect. The other thing, DNR must have thought I didn't have enough on my plate to do. They've kept me pretty busy last week, so they did alert us that we are due for our floodplain audit, and so I will be handling that here September 17th. So I'll be meeting. They're coming here, and I'll be meeting with them, going through all the documents over the last 5 years for our floodplains. And then number 4, the last thing I need to talk to you about is our floodplain ordinance. They let us know that FEMA has pushed out new updates to our floodplain ordinance that we need to add. If you remember, we just finalized that brand new in 2023, end of 23. And so it's just updating a lot of definitions, and I think were the main things that they had that we needed to add. So Mark and I have been talking about how we could get that done. So that'll be coming your way as well. What I got for you. Thank you.
Corey, do
Yep.
you want that on the schedule for tomorrow night?
Yeah, if we can. If not,
I'll add
okay.
it. I'll let Sadie know.
They typically take it under advisement and then they'll vote on it the
Okay,
next month.
I'll go ahead and put you on for tomorrow then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have Stacy down, but Stacy's not here. Looks like
Stacy's not here, but I'm gonna take her place.
that'll be fine.
So I think you guys know I'm Debbie Wallach and
Jennifer Yates from the Miami County YMCA.
So we're representing the Homeless Task Force, which is a new committee that was formed through the mayor. So what we do is we study the homeless in Miami County for recommendations on how to better address the homeless. So I gave you a copy a little bit about definition of how our steering committee came about. Then on the back of that is how it's broke down a little bit about our committees. And what we do is we do trainings, we have resources, and we have warming and the cooling centers. So have you noticed there is some cooling centers? We have 6 cooling centers, and we have a committee that's in charge of that. Cheryl Brewers from the Community Foundation is in charge of those. And then we also do the community outreach and the accommodations, the overnight centers. which we did last year at City Hall. And then we also work with the police department and the mayor for safety and policies and procedures. So before I get into one of the other main things that we're here for is I would like to reach out to you and talk to you a little bit about our warming centers and our cooling centers. I know that we've reached out to a couple people here at the courthouse and not knowing exactly who to talk to. And I think that's why we're here too, is to see if we could use the courthouse for a warming center and a cooling center. And what that consists of is just putting a placard out front. And then we have a station here that we bring water. So those unhoused individuals, when you're open, can stop in, grab some water and have a place to sit just to cool off when the temperatures are over 90 degrees. So, and there's no responsibility for you to do anything. We're in charge of that. We take care of that. And then the same thing when it's cool out, when it's 10 degrees, I think, or below, your hours of operation when you're open is they have the availability to come in and then sit down and warm up. So I don't know if that's something under your advisement where you're in charge of that or if that goes to someone else. So we want to propose that to you, and I know the City Hall is one, the library, Link, the YMCA, and the Health Department are all of those warming centers and cooling centers. So we would like to encourage you to participate since this is a county or county building to help be a part of that. So we'd like for you to take that under advisement. So those are just one of the things we would like to bring to your attention. The other thing that was brought to our attention is the encampments along the river route. DNR did a site visit there and was told by us, and told to the mayor, that their jurisdiction ends at the water line. And that those camps that are located above that water line is at the public roadway is the county's jurisdiction. So we were wanting to know if you're going to set an ordinance towards that so that we know how to move forward to deal with those encampment individuals and how to move forward on what we can do with those people that are residing on those areas. Have you thought of anything about what we're to do with those individuals? Because our hands are tied as the city on what we can do since it's owned by the county.
You're talking the land between the water and like to the road.
That's right. It's
That's-
county owned.
It's county owned, that strip.
So what would the ordinance say? That it is unlawful for living or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll put a restriction on it for
Yeah,
saying,
we just
you know,
need some kind of policy of saying that you
They
can
can
only
stay.
be there.
up to 72 hours, whatever you feel is necessary.
You can say 72 hours. You can say so many days you need to get out. So,
And I think what that would do would be, if we restricted it to that limited time, they could still stay, but they wouldn't set up shop. You know?
what happened in that, we got word from residents felt that it was unsafe because police were getting calls. I mean, they were getting gunshots. You know, there were things that were going on that people who lived there felt uncomfortable. And so I think as the city and the county needs to take this under very good understanding that we need to make sure that our citizens are safe and what do we need to do to move forward. And then I did put here on the back, I pulled up some data that was in the Miami County 211 data from the United Way on how many unhoused individuals we had. So they had 191 calls about housing, and how many of those were homeless, identified as homeless, was 61. But how many were at risk was 280. There was 280 people that were at risk to be homeless. So that were called and identified that they could be homeless. So, I mean, we need to stay on top of this. And so if we could have, 61 people that we're identifying that are homeless and that at one time could be living on the Riverwalk or living in the parks. So I think we need to be ahead of our game and have a plan and a policy of how long they can actually live. I mean, I've known, I've identified, I've been there on that river and dealt with these people, and what they do is they move from one end of the park, one end of the river to the other, because they know the police are going to say, hey, you only have so long that you can live there. But right now, we know now that the city has no ordinance. They have no say on how long you can stay there. So they know that now. The DNR came down and told them that, the county is now in charge. So we need to,
And then if there's a problem, do they call the sheriff or they call the police? Who's would enforce it? I'm only asking this because I had this question came up to me not too long ago. Who would enforce the ordinance? Would it be the city or the county? Would it be the sheriff's department or the city?
that's a good question.
Yeah, it was posed to me the other day. So
Well, then another question, if they're violating it, say they've been called out there for the third time, what are we gonna do? Take them to jail? Cause we don't wanna do that. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I just have questions. That's all I have.
My question is to Mark. Do you know of another county and how they've dealt with this?
Not off the top of my head, but I can look into it. I know the city had originally sent us or I received an email at least that they wanted us to do something, but their basis for us doing something was because of the 2 mile zoning jurisdiction. And they said when we took that back, that's what gave us the jurisdiction. I would agree with that outside of the city limits, but I think the area we're talking about is within the city limits. Is that right?
It is within the city limits.
Yes.
And so that's where I disagree with the city's position that we have to have an ordinance because it's still within the city limits. Just because we own the property, we should still be subject to the city's ordinances within the city limits. So that's where I would say that the city's ordinance still applies within that area. I think the city has taken the stance, the opposite stance, as being either overly cautious or just trying to dump it on the county.
Well, I was just going by what the DNR was saying here.
Yeah, and that's where I don't even know why DNR would say that. Again, if it's in the city limits, city ordinances should apply.
Yeah, it just reads that the jurisdiction ends at the water line and the encampments in questions fall outside the authority. Since the camps are located above the water line and below the public roadway, this falls as a county.
Well, there again, what's the water line? Is it now when the river's low? Or
A lot of times you look at the high water mark. And so wherever that high water line is, that's where DNR says its jurisdiction stops. So that's not the hard part. They're usually, I doubt they're camping below that, but I don't know.
So what if we bring all three parties together and have a meeting? The DNR, the city, and the county together to have a collaboration meeting together to discuss where we need to move forward.
We can. I think the county.
Because I think that, we all need to come to some kind of collaboration together. And I think that we're not going to get there by us not figuring out the right answers. And I think we're all in the same room together. We can get the common goal and the answers together if we're all together. We can do it as a Zoom meeting or, because DNR probably, I don't know if they would want to come down, but it's just a thought.
Helpful.
Okay,
But
let me see if I can coordinate something.
The county would need an ordinance just for essentially outside of the city limits.
Yeah.
So if they're starting to camp outside the city limits, then we definitely would need something. And if I would prefer to model ours after whatever the city does, just so there's continuity and enforcement.
Do you want to appoint a couple people to sit on that meeting and then we can get a couple people from the city to sit on that meeting?
For this, you're just asking for there to be an ordinance in place. Is that right?
Yes.
If you can send me whatever the city has, I can draft something for the county. I don't think
Okay.
if that's the main issue, we can take care of that. But again, my position is it will only apply outside of the city limits.
Not on the inside.
Yes.
Okay, because we need to address the city limits.
Yeah. And I think the city takes a different position, but I don't agree with their position.
Okay. So I totally agree with what you're saying. So for us to come to some kind of conclusion, or we need to probably have some kind of meeting with someone besides the DNR and the city and then this meeting. So how do you want to move forward?
Yeah, the chairman.
Mark, is there anything that you and the city attorney can work on before we're involved? Because
It would really just be drafting an ordinance that is the same as the city's, and as long as I'd have to look at theirs first. Maybe they can amend theirs, say the sheriff can enforce theirs, and we can amend ours to make sure it says any law enforcement can enforce it.
I think that would be a good
Just
idea.
say the city did not have an ordinance, or they do.
I can't say one way or the other, so.
You know, I'm not aware of the city having an ordinance, and the city's not trying to dump it on the county. It's just they felt like their hands were tied when they found out that DNR was in control of that. Then we pursued it with DNR, and they said, no, we can't do anything because the county owns this. So I guess this is a continuation of that. We just want to be, I'm Tim Fisher with the
Yes,
City
thank you.
Council. Yeah, I just want us to be, I mean, the city would enforce it. And I don't know, like I said, I'm not aware of the ordinance that we have, but we do have to somehow resolve that. And if the county, Mark, if you say, even though this is county land, the city should enforce whatever ordinance we have for dealing with that, then we would. But we're just trying to get to that point.
Right. I thought the city had something, but I wasn't for sure on that either.
I'll look into it.
And I agree with Mark that if it's in the city limits, then it would be the city's ordinance. It would be no different than this block that's county owned, but we still have to follow city rules. Yes.
So Fred, during Circuit City the week before, we got called down to it, and we do have property, which would be Bridge 159 on the Wallback, Kelly Avenue, and then Wayne Street Bridge 501. And there were bikes and things chained to the county bridge property there, the Wabash River. So we went down, we collaborated with actually the Crew Street Department and the sign man and myself, and then 2 DNR officers did show up. We removed bicycles, trash. It was on county property because it was bridge. And then I did talk to a DNR man, and on down the road, on down the river is Mark Woodhams owns the property there. So he owns quite a bit of it as well. So we do have property, which is the bridges.
And there's a distinction between who can enforce what. I mean, we as property owners can go out there. Like if the county owns the property and we own under the bridge, we can go out there as property owners, but you're not enforcing it under an ordinance. You're just saying, get off my property, just like any property owner would. So we can do that, but we don't have law enforcement to then back it up, really. There's no real ordinance violation.
So your question was what on moving forward?
The question is, would the county consider putting an ordinance together? So that was the question.
I had one question on this. When it says individuals are at risk, what's an at risk?
That's a possibility of leaving their home or their permanent residence and being at risk, living out on the street.
Property.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what the next step is.
I don't know how to handle this either. I mean, people have said, well, why doesn't the county just have a facility where they go to? Well, you have
Tax dollars, money,
you have to have
grants.
building, you
Yes.
have to have electricity, then you got responsibility,
Yeah.
then you got to have someone stay there.
That's what our task force is tasked to do, is to look forward to see avenues and ways that we can help the unhoused population. So that is our goal.
The only concern bringing them into the courthouse is I'd like to talk to judges because we have prisoners that are coming in.
Understandable. Mhm.
So I kind of hate to make that.
I guess I assumed we were in Warping and Cooling Center since it is a public building. I assume they're allowed to come in and
During
cool
public
off.
hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that was my assumption. So apparently that's not an official cooling or warming.
If you could just get back to us and let us know, that would be great. Get in. Mhm.
Yeah, Fred, they'll have to go through security, correct? Because we're starting that soon.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
yes, we will soon start having security, and the only way in is the north entrance for now.
Mhm.
And so they would have to go through, well, that's the only way they're gonna get in the building.
Right. To just a reminder that that's starting
Good
soon
point.
as well.
Yes, that would,
Mhm.
they would have to go through.
And we can also limit the access areas and say, on the table, you're limited to just this area. So because we have a sign on the one that says who we are and say your access area is just to this area and to the restrooms. So we could be, let them know where they can go and where they can't go.
They kind of need a designated somewhat area so that you've got water and stuff at that area.
Yep. So I gave my phone number to Anita's, or
Annette.
Annette,
That's
sorry.
close. That's all right.
I do it every time. And so, you can reach out to me and let me know.
Well, too.
So thank you for letting me speak to you today. I know it's a taboo topic, but we would just like to move forward and get some answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And do either of you know, Stacy was here about vehicles, do you know if she's getting anywhere with that, or you have nothing to do with that?
I would say that she had written a bunch of people, state officials and representatives, but I don't know what her status is on that.
She reached out just to let us to and didn't get anything there with trying to get more funding.
I've gotten an email. I think she gets the same things, that they did come up with an answer and they can start scheduling vehicles.
Oh,
really?
that's what she's asked them to do, I believe, when I
Well,
talked with
I
her
know
last.
we just met with her last
To be a
week.
priority.
We met with her last week and it still hadn't come through yet. So
Yeah, this was late last week. when I
Oh,
got
wonderful.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think she's still trying to lease
She is.
someplace. I did know
She
that
did.
when I.
That hadn't come through when we talked to her.
Okay,
last
yeah,
week.
since I had,
Anything's changed.
Yeah.
that was, I think.
I know she's down 6 vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Put a hurt on it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary, you have an update.
I'm just gonna give you an update of what we're doing or got done. So on the chip and seal, we are all done. And to go over the mileage that we did do, the north end, we did 9.9 miles, but it's a conversion. So you gotta take that times 3. So basically, we done 29.7 miles. South, we done 5.3, which is conversion. You gotta take that times 3, it's 15.9. So about 45.6 mile chip and seal on the conversions. Then on the other portion of that, the ones we done conversion last year, we done, and that's just one on number 11s. We done total of both ends, 14.4. You want to divide it down, we done 8.4 up north and 6 miles down south. And we just started the wedging on 300 north last week, and we're running a little bit of trouble with me getting mix right now. So both companies that we use are both busy, like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I ordered some, talked to Central Paving. I got 60 ton to do some culverts until we can go again Thursday, hopefully, and providing weather. So, and on the Eel River Cemetery Road behind the truck stop, Gaunt and Son will be coming in October sometime and get start on that to get that done. And the question, I think, on 150 East, Mosley, where they call it 150 East or Mosley Road. I think Mark's drove it. We have a lady on there that's having a fit. We do have some soft spots in the middle of the road. And we usually let them go till we can pay. We should be, as soon as 300 North's done, we are moving there. Then further down south to do a section down there. So just to let you know, hopefully by September, providing the weather and availability of mix that we can get. I think that's about all I have on that part, unless you want any other questions answered. I mean, cost wise on the conversion is like 54,000 a mile, 54,239 somewhat right in there. Then also you gotta add another 2,000 for the next year to finish it out again. We end up putting 4 layers on. This year we put 2 layers of 9s and a layer of 11s, then come back next year and put a layer of 11s back on it again. So, and that's including that 54,000, including stone added to it and what have you. So. Anybody else got any questions? I mean, I know we got other complaints, and I guess my biggest thing is every road that the person lives on is the worst road in the county. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, it's there. We try to do the best we can, not say we're perfect, but there's so many that we need to get over. Unless you guys wanna put some more money out where we can do more miles, because right now the miles on the wedging is about 13 miles we'll do. And I guess mostly is not on there, but we'll do that section there. Then whatever money I have, when I get all this done, what I got left, we'll do some more. And there is some roads worse than others, don't get me wrong. But when somebody says their road's the worst road, and that's the only road they drive every day, it probably is the worst road for them. But what if everybody else is driving on the roads? So I know everybody's getting a lot of complaints.
Well, I got a question. A neighbor has contacted me several times about 1200 that goes by Olive Branch. It's in pretty good shape, but it's starting to get cracks and stuff.
They're around 50, 100 each. Or yeah.
That would be from the Wabash County line to 19. It's pretty good shape. Do you guys ever just chip and seal those roads to keep them?
We can if they ain't got a bunch of patches on it.
It's not bad, but one of those that if we don't maintain it, it's going to be bad and it's going to have patches. So
Maybe they can get it next year.
just food for thought.
But some of them want their road chip and seal because it levels the road. All chip and seal is to seal it with crack. If we got a bunch of patches on it, we need to wedge it before we. I mean, a lot of our roads need wedged. A lot.
And then again this morning in the drainage board, Mr. Schrock stopped by and said nothing has happened with that culvert. Where is this?
Is that one on Meridian?
No,
Willow Creek.
Willow Creek. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we've been right now we haven't got much time. Now we might have the next couple of days, but before that, everybody was all out on the paver or on the chip block, one or the other.
He was polite about it, but he's frustrated. This is the 4th month he's come and asked something to be done.
Yeah. Okay. I have looked at that. There's going to be more issues than just that tile going out. His culvert, I could go so I can take shots. I know unless you replace that other whole thing, even me lowering that, for what I eyeballing it, he's still going to have water.
He just claims that when they put that in, the pipe goes up. If it was just lowered down, he said the water would drain.
Well, for one, from his culvert driveway to the pipe, needs about 6 inches cleaned out of it to even leave his pipe. There's no water between the outlet and his culvert, but at his culvert and his drive, there's water standing. I mean, it's up that much higher than the culvert, bottom of it.
I didn't think that's what he's complaining about.
It's one thing at a time.
Just
But
let
I'm
him,
not saying that pipe, even when it got put in, whoever put it in, it's not big enough. I don't know who put it in. It's only like maybe a 5 inch, maybe a 6. And his culvert's a 10. So, and I think it got put in that should never got put in without being at least a 10, which would have helped a
his
lot more.
concern is just get the pipe down where it used to be. He said the
I
problem.
get, yeah.
So,
Okay. So, but like I said, I think he's still going to have a big issue when we get a rain.
anyway, thank you.
Yep. And then I guess on the Eel River, I guess somebody had to complain on Eel River Cemetery Road between 300 north and the Cass County line. But the biggest part is between 300 north and 440 west, correct? The bridge is out. Oh, that was another thing. As soon as we get done with all of our side, we'll get down and start working on that bridge. When we get all of our other stuff done. I mean, I understand it's an inconvenience, but it's going to be an inconvenience to us if we don't keep going as much as we can. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Janice?
Good morning. This is Dave Buff, Butler Fairman Cyber. Before we get into that, though, I have something that came to my desk last week from Danya LaRue from Fort Wayne. If you look at this, I got an email from Fort Wayne District, and it's a local agency closeout. And these projects actually go back to, I wrote the dates, I had to pull them all out. Ken was here at the time. And so we do get a refund of $38,558.49, which is a positive. I was glad to hear we didn't owe anybody. So, yeah, that's usually the case.
That's exactly what I was afraid.
And you should have gotten that also. Did you get a copy of this in the auditor's office? Do you recall? You and Mary. It says, well, it's addressed to county auditor and
Right.
treasurer. So it probably came in the mail. I don't know when. So anyway, with that said, I looked up the
I
projects.
haven't seen it in the mail.
Sure. I looked up the projects, and the first one was Business 31 South. We started at US 31. That DES number actually dates back to 2005. They started doing that. And the work, it looks like, was done in 2016. And then if you go to the next one, that's Bridge 159. That's the Kelly Avenue Bridge. And we did that in 2019. Ken was still here, and then he left, and then I did help do the closeout on that bridge. And then Bridge 501, which is Wayne Street, Wallace Avenue Bridge. And we did that in 2021. And then Bridge 163, which is back on US Business 31. That's at the bridge before Kelly Avenue. So anyway, we get a grand total of $38,558, like I said, 49. And that money actually will go into the seeded fund because Business 31 and Bridge 163 seeded paid for that money, paid for that bridge. So that's where it'll be deposited. Just wanted to let you know. Okay, I'm going to let Dave Buck take over. Sure do. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I got this one up here. You gave Annette one, is that correct?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Right. Well, yeah.
That's fine. I think I have some of those in my folder here too.
So what you have before you are updates for your Title VI implementation plan and your ADA transition plan. We've helped Janice update these two documents for your approval today. Inside the implementation plan, well, both the transition plan and the implementation plan are updates and I guess name changes and things like that for your notice under the Americans with Disabilities Act and your grievance procedure for the county. So these documents will need to be updated every year to every 3 years, depending on progress and um, actions that the county takes. Your implementation plan is really the overarching policies and procedures and identification that you're not going to discriminate against any persons that need county services, and you're going to make your county services and continue to have your county services to be accessible for all persons. The transition plan, a lot of work has been completed under it. A lot of the county roads have had new curb ramps put in some of the subdivisions around the Grissom Aeroplex. But the facilities that you own probably should be reevaluated. The courthouse being one, but any parks, any property that citizens enjoy, any services you provide should be probably evaluated going forward. The impetus for this, NDOT requires you to be compliant with ADA, and these documents are part of that process. To be eligible to receive federal funding and any pass-through funding from the state, you have to be compliant with the ADA. So
Currently, we are not in compliance, so that's holding us on any kind of federal grants or CCMG state grants as well. We've gotten several phone calls. They did some training last Thursday downstate. I went online and did my training. It was also for construction vendors and construction. So several counties are not in compliance, and it's not easy. Moving forward, there's going to be much more involved. We're going to have, like you said, training, and it'll be a countywide employee training. So we have to implement this. We maybe need to look towards if you're thinking about getting an HR employee in here, that would not be a bad idea because I'm going to be here less than a year. So if we can get this passed, we can continue our federal grants. We have a CCMG call October 1st, and we really don't want to miss that. I mean, it could put us back another 6 months until we get this done. We've got a bridge grant pending. I think that's Bridge 164. Is that right? Yes. Which is Mexico Road, the over the Eel River, that bridge, and that's overlay, and we need to keep moving forward with our bridges. We have several that are going to need replaced or overlays or whatever we need to do to them. So we need to work hard towards getting this accomplished. We're going to have to put some money. We had money in a fund for ADA Title VI a couple years ago. Do you recall? I don't know if that money that was through the courthouse, or I guess I should say Commissioner's Fund. I don't know how that was at that time. We put about 10,000 in. We need to put money in there and accomplish these goals because again, we're paying Dave or Butler Fairman Cipher to help us, and that may be something we need to look towards. We may have to find someone that takes care of ADA. I think Colin said that he knows a few people. Is that correct?
Oh, the ADA consultants?
Yes,
Yeah.
the consultants. So we might need to look towards that because I'm certainly not an expert with it, and that's something we need to work on. So
what is it going to take to get us compliant? We just need to approve these and we're compliant.
So today, we have to implement it. So it's pretty big. Megan is on the Title VI. She's going to be our Title VI coordinator. She's going to need training. we will send this downstate and to Taffany Keys, and hopefully she'll get our approval. But then she's going to want to know that we're doing the work, not just having the documents. So
It's an every year update that you'll provide to NDOT. And this isn't just about roads and bridges. This is about all county services. This is how
Right.
sheriff's deputies respond to calls if someone's hearing disabled or deaf, how they're to interact with that person and to get training in that. You know, all the way through to just somebody coming in to the clerk's office or the auditor's office and asking for documents, attending meetings, your website accessibility. It's very broad reaching. And so every year you're to turn in an annual goals and accomplishments report of the things that were done in the previous year going forward. And then every 3 years on the transition plan to update how many handicap ramps you've installed or what your inventory for that looks like. If they're all done, and are you checking to make sure that they're still compliant and they haven't gone into disrepair or be programmed for replacement if that's the case.
the judges would need to be involved. I did talk to one of his clerks, one of the judge's clerks. And if you have a deaf interpreter, we have to have all that stuff in place. And so that's why some of this belongs here at the courthouse. If you'll notice also, and I will email you all the documents, and Mark, I have, because your name's on there as well as the attorney, I'll email it, but if we could get the approval, and then I wanted to send this downstate, and so that she knows that we're working towards complying with all of our ADA Title VI program. And then we will post it on the website. We'll remove some of the old stuff that we have. I don't know. We'll just work hard towards this. We need to possibly, like I said, get some money back into more ADA Title VI. We need a fund, a line item. I believe like I said, I think we took that out of the commissioners.
I remember I met with you
Yes.
several times and we did a few things.
Yes, we did a few things, but now it's time to really push forward with this. We have had several improvements. You'll notice I did do the reports from when we did in your implementation plan there. We did Eagles Point. We put in several handicap ramps. We paved out their road surface. So we're doing the work. They just need to know it, that we're pushing forward. So if you would approve this today, we need your signatures.
Need a motion.
Yeah.
I move we approve these plans.
So we need both of these approved. Is that what?
Just the ADA.
I would recommend you approve the ADA transition plan, the Title VI implementation plan, the notice, and your grievance procedure. All 4 of those items.
There's been a motion and a second to sign the EDA transition plan and the implementation plan. All in favor, say aye. 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 And what were the other 2?
The notice and the grievance procedure.
Move we approve those and move forward trying to be compliant.
And I'll second.
Okay. Been a motion and a second to sign the my brain just went dead. The
Notice and
the-
grievance
the
procedure.
notice and grievance procedures. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And that there's a place for you to attest on these documents, and Fred has that.
Okay.
Okay.
Copies need signs.
Bill, say, you want him to sign a copy for mine stuff upstairs as well, or do you want to scan it to me?
This is the only thing I have.
Okay.
Actually, 2 places.
So I can either have him sign twice now, or
Sometimes it's easier.
Sometimes it's easier. Then I'll just go ahead and.
Okay, go ahead and give me
Yeah.
yours.
Why don't you go ahead and sign?
One less thing to do.
Yeah. Well, no, as long as you're signing 2 copies of everything,
Okay.
and then I'll take a copy with me, and Janice will take a copy with her, and we'll get
Really?
it filed.
Yeah, there's actually a second place to
Yes.
sign.
I will be scanning that down to Taffany Keys today. I'm really, we need this approval.
Yes. So how many places was there for
There's
signatures?
2.
To
and
the-
there's-
on it.
It's just on the implementation
Okay,
plan.
all right.
And there's one in one of the appendix, the first appendix.
Okay, perfect.
As soon as I get approval, then I would like your approval to remove from the website the old documents. At least we talked about putting them in a zip file. We'll keep them, and then we'll upload the new documents. And so I'll be working with Jim Deniston about that. And you're okay
So
with
that? That is after the state approves this, or is it?
I believe that's the process because
we're
it
not
needs to be
doing that
approved.
today?
Correct. But I will go as soon as it is approved. I'll start the process of that.
Did you walk away from that stuff?
Oh boy, I don't know. The big part is if the documents aren't large enough, it's implementing it. I mean, we can looking at it, it's like we got to do it. We have to do the work.
And countywide, it's more than a full-time job. It takes involvement from every department. Part-time involvement anyway from every department to remain compliant and to make sure that those policies are being followed day in, day out, and that training happens either occasionally as new employees come in or on a regular basis for everybody on whatever topic.
I need a sign.
Oh. Okay.
So that brings me to the next question. I will need to pay Butler Fair and Cipher for helping us with documentation. And this shouldn't fall just on the highway department because it's the entire courthouse. It's everything. So if you approve a payment for that to come from, if it needs to be a ADA Title VI fund that we had said we talked about, we may not have it in place. I don't know. It was there 2 years ago, but this is not a highway department only issue. So, do you agree with that?
If there's an ADA fund.
I don't, but I want to find out for you.
You might have to go back.
Couple years.
Yeah,
on that.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can text Mary to find out. It's been a minute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Thank you.
So, Annette, do you need us to approve something to, instead of paying it out of the highway, do we need to approve something now or wait till you find out if we have a fund?
Oh, I just text her to see if we have a fund, but if you can do the approved for the payment, I guess we could do that. We'll just have to figure out which account it's coming to. Does he need a motion to pay that?
Thank you.
Or just put claim in since there's money there?
It's not a new contract, I don't think, so I would say put a claim in.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything today. And I'll
Good
text
news
you.
is we have 38,000 that's seated now.
That is true. That is a true statement.
Yeah.
Because I said, I don't think you need to do anything. And I'll text you. I just sent the girls a thing they're looking now.
Okay. All right. Herb, I believe you have some not good news for us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
38,000 was good, dude.
That's right.
It was.
Yeah.
Do you have the papers that I gave you on Friday? I made another copy in case. Okay.
Search through the stack now.
Yeah. Okay. Going over my budgets the last couple months, our runs are up that we've done. Things that we've worked on, fixed, have drained my budgets. And unfortunately, I was not in last year on the budget hearings. I did not make my budget for this year. So I had a meeting on Friday with Fred. I'm here to ask for an additional appropriation of $15,000 to help me pay my bills for the rest of the year. Few of my bills will be, a few of my budgets will be depleted by the end of this month. So
I believe you said you had, it was either $1,400 or $1,600 left, period.
In one of my repairs and maintenance budget, which for the EMA, my repairs and maintenance budget covers my buildings, the grounds, and all of my vehicles that I have. I have $1,400 left in that account right now, and I have one of my newer vehicles. I'm trying to phase out all the old Crown Vics and the newer vehicles that he has bought. One of the vehicles I have to repair it, and just the parts alone are going to cost more than what I have left in my budget. So that car is going to sit until next year. And hopefully then the older vehicles do not break down. But that $1,400, I can't. Washer fluid, oil changes, and like I say, our numbers have tripled since the last year and a half before me. So,
Well, also, he had not upped the budget for
Correct.
5 years.
yes, I went through and I printed off my budget since 21, and he updated one account, and that was the fuel budget back in 22. So everything else, I've sat down and tried to figure out the money that I'm allotted for the year, how much I'm allotted per month. My utility bill has not gone up. He has not allotted any more money since 2021. My utility bill, the only thing that I made an addition on was adding satellite TV, so that way I could have the news and weather in the office. That raised my bill up $120 a month, and I was allotted with that being said, my utilities, the money that was allotted for the year comes out to $583.33 a month to pay my utility bills, and I'm actually paying $919 a month. So at the end of this month, I will need $4,100 just to pay my light bill. So, and then, like I said, my repairs and maintenance, with what was allotted, that is $833 a month, and I'm spending over $1,300 repairing vehicles, doing normal monthly maintenance on them, repairing the buildings. And with that being said as well, my runs that we are doing, helping out the police and the fire, and all the utilities, my fuel budget has been appropriated for $750 a month, and I'm spending over $1,000 a month in fuel for my vehicles. So
Like you had a little perfect storm there between a lack of updated budget and an increase in runs.
Yes,
Here we are.
yes.
Um,
It all comes down to a stagnant department. I could go up there and shut the door and hide and be able to make it through the year, or continue to help out all the other emergency agencies like we have done, and to keep going forward with all the programs that we're working on. And it's going to cost more money.
Cost of doing business.
15,000 will get you through the end of the year. You're working on a new
It
budget.
should, yes, and yes, my new budget for next year's.
We've already increased a couple of those lines to
Yeah,
compensate us
and
for 2026, correct?
I've got to, after sitting down and figuring this again,
Look at it
I've-
again.
I've figured everything up and got to get that sent back to you.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that it's gone up a little bit more
Okay,
than when we.
then what we did it. Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
and I can go ahead. Here's just a copy of
Where you think you're at?
what I've updated, and then I will email it to you as well. I didn't have heart failure when you looked at it.
I started dropping papers on the floor. So for the additional, where you want to put the additional appropriation to be advertised?
Say that again.
To do the advertisement for the additional appropriation?
So we need to do that.
Yeah, so you'll need a motion for that, so we can do that, but and what line item are we doing that for? It's across the board? Talk about that later.
If it,
I mean, do you have where you want the 15,000 spread out over?
would that be paying utilities out of my repairs and maintenance
We can
budget?
set-
Would that be a problem?
I mean, you can transfer things from line items.
Right, so we just go to anything here. Okay, perfect. Under other services.
Yeah.
We'll put it under other services.
I move we allow him to go to council to have $15,000 approved to get him through this year.
I will second.
Been a motion and a second to go to council for an additional $15,000 appropriation for EMA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And then we have the burn ban ordinance in front of us that we've had time to look over. Any comments or questions while Herb's sitting right here?
Well, as I said, I'm satisfied with it for now, which I think we'll get through a burn season and see if there's changes that need to be made. But right now, I don't see any concern enough to not approve it for now.
That a motion?
So I will make a motion to approve that.
A second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the burn ban ordinance, which would be ordinance 825-1, correct?
Don't we use today's date?
Yeah,
Today's the 18th, friend.
sorry,
That's okay, let's try one more time. 8/18.
25.
Okay. No, that's all right. I was writing one number. We're saying another.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? It passes. Aye, by the way.
Okay.
3-0. Do you just need one copy?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Oh, that's all we have to pass for today, correct?
The hazmat. You were lumping them both together.
Okay.
Did
you look over the hazmat ordinance?
Yes.
I do not have that one. I don't know why. Are there any issues with that one?
No, not with that. No issue with that one. The question on the burn ban was remitting payment to the local fire departments. I haven't talked to the DLGF person yet because we've been playing phone tag, but I think we're gonna interlocals with everybody. I don't think those are usable, but it's my guess.
Okay. That's fine.
And I'll
I
get
can,
those drafted for you.
okay. Yeah, I can just, take
Yes.
I already have an agreement with that agreement that I sent you with all the fire departments. So would we be able to possibly draft those together into one?
It will probably be a separate one for every fire department.
Well, yes, but, taking that,
Oh, basically incorporating that into a new one.
yes, taking both
I'll
of
look
those,
at it.
the interlocal and the,
It might be best to have them separate,
okay.
but I'll see if I can incorporate them.
I do not have the hazmat one in front of me. Did you bring one?
No, I didn't see a separate one for hazmat.
Here,
That one?
Mark got his? Okay.
I knew I'd read through it and
Yeah.
couldn't find it. So I would
We were in
entertain
a hurry by the time I got.
a motion on the hazmat.
Okay. I'll move we approve the hazmat ordinance. EMA.
I'll second.
Been a motion, a second to adopt the hazmat ordinance, which would be 1825B. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Little
We're here for you, Fred.
At
Well, we grabbed the
we're
other
not
stuff.
on
We didn't
the
grab that
grant.
one. So
No one will notice.
The last thing I have is the company from Wisconsin sent me an email asking about the first round of payment, the money that was already okayed for the storm sirens. And
Yeah,
that was the bill that I gave you. Has that, I didn't know what to tell them, and I didn't want to.
let me double check. I think it's on schedule to be paid. I think she's got it scheduled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't
But
really sure.
we'll double
so
check
just
when I
wanted to
circle
make
back with you
sure.
this afternoon. I'll get you an answer. If we need to move that up, we can.
All right.
It might be in this stuff for today.
All right. Well,
Thanks,
thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you. And next we have a contract with Houston Generators, which has not been updated in how long? 3 years.
Yeah, it's been 2013 was last year on that.
Total 775.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a maintenance service agreement for the generator, and it's a total of $775. I would entertain a motion to the contract signed and get to them.
Move we sign the contract for Houston Generators. Are you the only one that signs it? And to allow the chairman of the board to sign the document.
Second.
Been a motion and a second to allow the chairman to sign the Houston Generator Service Agreement. All in favor, say aye.
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 Where's this generator?
Behind the annex.
The courthouse.
That's behind the annex.
I didn't know what generator you were
Yeah.
talking about. Could have been out the jail.
So next we would have, did you bring the these down?
Yeah.
Mark was not familiar with that either. So is that something Mark needs to read
You
through?
print it. You gave this to me. That was the one that you sent the state board of the.
Yes. What about it?
I thought that's one of the things he was asking for when you texted me this morning. So, sorry, Mark is familiar with this.
That one.
Oh, that one. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Like he sent it to me.
Okay. All right. My
Sorry for
apologies.
the confusion, Mark.
All right, we are down to payroll.
Okay, we've also got I sent you guys all the schedules for the holiday, the claims, and we just need approval on the claims and the payroll schedule. There's no signature required on that, but the holiday one will need approval on that and then signatures, please.
Right.
We'll need all three of them. The 3 different pockets. Thanks.
This is new information to me, so
So every year we have a schedule when we're going to do claims like what you've got here that you're going to sign off on here in a moment.
Yep.
And payroll. And so these are the dates that people have to have their claims submitted by.
okay.
And then the dates that she'll process them and the date that she'll approve them and we'll pay them. So every year we give you a schedule so that we can email it out to all the departments and people so they know the schedule that we're on. So that's what those two schedules are. We just need approval for that. And it's the same every 2 weeks as we normally do. Mark, it's just consecutive into 26. The holiday schedule, we mirrored what we did last year when we put this together for you. So no, we didn't
Okay,
add it.
sounds
We
fine to
didn't
me.
add a personal schedule for, Mark France personal day we're taking off or anything like that. So
If you want.
can we, okay, he says we can.
Need a separate approval for each one.
It doesn't matter to me if you do them together, if you do them separate for the claims and payroll.
I move we approve these two claims schedules.
A motion and second to approve the payroll and claim schedule for 26. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. These with the holiday calendar.
No, we approved the calendar for next year's holidays.
Second.
Been a motion and a second to approve the holiday schedule for 2026. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Please, yep, you'll need to sign that one.
How many holidays are there now?
13 or 14. Well, 13, 14 again. Forgot New Year's Day.
If it's start one off with the holiday.
Yeah.
And now they've got the minutes that they'll have to approve.
I move we approve the minutes from August 4th.
I second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes from August 4th. All in favor, say aye. 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 And then we have claims.
I'll move we approve the claims.
Second.
Been a motion and a second to approve the claims. All in favor, say aye.
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 Did you?
It's payroll as well.
Move we approve payroll,
Second.
Please.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the payroll. All
She
in
didn't want you to
favor,
forget
say
the
aye.
payroll.
no,
Aye.
All right.
What else do you have?
That's it.
Have any? You have something more? Okay. Anybody else?
I just,
I do. I was in the planning commission office last week. It was probably 95 degrees outside and Corey had the windows open in the office. And I'm, why do you have the windows open? He said, it's so cold in here, we can't take it. And here we are, revving up the air conditioner to send it outside. Can we fix that problem?
I do know certain rooms get colder than others do.
Well, but to open the windows, that's pretty serious. Aren't we wasting a lot of energy?
I can check into it, and see if they can change the zones, but I'm guessing just certain rooms are gonna be colder than others, like, oh, this one does have a thermostat.
yeah, they don't usually work though. They're
Yeah.
controlled. I know the other offices, they layer up. They have a jacket or sweater or something in the office and they just throw it on if it gets
I know I was in here for a meeting,
It's
and it was
cold. Yeah.
Well, we don't have the fans going, it'd be pretty cold if the
Yeah.
fans were.
It's cold in here now, sitting under here.
Yeah.
I just need one more round of signatures on those claims. You signed so much stuff, that one didn't get signed.
Is there something you had a coil, something we were needing to do?
We already approved that last meeting, did we not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the water softener was close to being hooked up. Seems like there was something last week.
I just need the rest of the Houston contracts to come back this way.
Do you have it? Do I have it?
I think we're missing two.
Or we're supposed to sign these?
You want them signed?
Or you just want
Please.
it back?
I'd like them signed.
Oh, you want one of them signed?
No, I want all three of them
You
signed.
want all three of
please.
these signed? Okay. It's only got a signature page for him, I think.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Okay.
move we.
You've already
Have him
approved.
sign it?
You've already
Okay.
approved for him to sign them. I just
Okay,
need him to
he
sign
signed-
all three and give them
Sign
back.
all three. Okay.
Okay.
I thought
Less
Fred had them.
paperwork for us.
There you go. You got her.
I think we're done. I can do this after we adjourn.
Yep, you sure can. You can.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Been a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Did Jenny move the next meeting up to 11 this time, or do you
Yeah.
know? Yes. Good.